Bam, I am. Here we are live. This is your host, Myki Angeline. And we are here with the Bad Filipino episode. Why am I doing so many episodes? Episode 14. I have got in studio my longtime friend. She's like the most amazerful ever.
Amazerful.
You're amazerful, Sean. Sean Wiggins. Thank you so much for being here.
Was that Jennifer Batten that you were interviewing?
Yes.
I know Jennifer.
You know
awesome.
Jennifer. Yes, she is. In fact, she's hosting her second guitar symposium. Like it's a clinic. That's like a 4-day clinic. She did it, I want to say in August, either July or August. And it was her, Gretchen Mann, Neely Brosh, which I know them all, and then a fourth woman, I forgot her name because I don't know her. But they would do where you each day it was them teaching you their secrets, their little tricks in playing. And it was so successful, she's doing another round. And it's going to be in November, I think.
Very cool.
She's pretty dope.
I think I sang on one of her albums. I'm pretty sure.
That's dope.
Yeah. I forget things.
Well, you know why, though? You should give yourself a break. You only performed like 1 million shows.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're averaging bajillion shows a year, and then you multiply that by the bajillion years you've been doing music, not to say that you're old, but you've done so much.
Yeah.
So you're like, how, and aside of everything though, how have you been? Because we've known each other since, I want to say 2006.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I saw you at the San Diego Gay Pride.
Oh, wow.
That's how long ago. I remember it was my first time being at that one. My daughter was with me. It was my then fiance, and her family. She's from San Diego, so we were down visiting her family. And that weekend happened to be San Diego Pride, so we're like, yeah, we're totally gonna go. And that one actually is really nice because I've been to a handful of prides, and that one is cool because they do cater it to the youth, which means they do have tents and booths there for those who are young and have questions. Those who, So, and they do the beer garden, so you can't carry the alcohol everywhere. Or at least they did back in 2006. And I just remember we were walking through, it was a beautiful day. And then we hear this incredible music with this phenomenal vocalist. And we're like, who is that? And we just make this beeline and it's you. You were on stage with your band.
I remember that now.
Yeah. It was so amazing.
Wow. God, that was a long time ago.
In fact, my daughter still has the photo she took with you.
Oh my God.
I know. Because you had your little, we took a photo, or she has the card. You had like little postcards and you did this autograph. And then I took a picture of her with you with it, and we still have it. And she still has the postcard. Yeah. Yeah. I remember thinking you were so amazing. And then what's funny is because it was way before I started working in music, way before. And I remember, I don't know why, I think I reached out to you. For some reason a couple of years later. And I remember you texted me or called me, and I felt so Twitter pated because I'm like, oh my God, a celebrity's like totally calling my phone. I remember it was like the coolest moment because I thought, oh my God, I saw her on stage and now she's calling me. I don't even remember what we were talking about. I think I was trying to book you for shows up here.
Well, did you get me up there?
A couple of times.
You must have. Yeah.
A couple of times because I started doing internet radio shortly after, and then I was like just cruising the music scene here in Sacramento.
Right.
And so there were a couple of spots I ended up getting you booked at, which was so dope because I was like, yeah, we got to bring her up here. Sacramento's got to know who she is.
God, that was fun. I remember one of those gigs, we drove up and drove home in the same day. It was the longest day of my life, I think.
It had to have been because you also performed, and that's setting up, sound checking, performing, breaking down, having a beer maybe because it depends on who's driving.
Right.
And that's all we'll say because I don't know. Because maybe you did.
I don't remember.
And then do you remember in 2006, how many albums did you self-produce at that point?
I
know that was a long time ago. Yeah, it's 14 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know. I might have had 3 or 4 out by then.
Because how many do you have now?
I have, I think 7.
Okay.
7 on my own. I had 2 I did before with different bands. I mean,
Okay.
I'm on a ton of different people's albums and different bands I produce stuff with, but on my own, I think it's 7.
God, it's so crazy because it's what I totally love about you. And the thing I learned, you know, it wasn't until I got into working in the industry, when I look back at who you are and what you've accomplished, I had a better appreciation and respect for. Because you're an artist who does everything yourself. You're independent. You're not signed to a label. You, if I memory serves, you perform solo, duo, full band with originals, and also a cover band still.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, mostly I do a mixture.
Okay.
That's mostly what I do.
But I know you have a cover band that you played in, right? Or you've done cover where the shows are just covers or something, I thought. Like,
Well, I was in a like a corporate wedding band where we just did covers.
that's what it was.
And
I just knew it was like another band.
yeah. And then that's to make money. And then I have a band, and my band plays covers and originals.
Yes. And in fact, you were doing so many shows that you didn't even bother to rehearse together because the rehearsals pretty much were the shows.
Exactly.
You would just send each other the music, and this is the song we're doing, and everyone practice it on their own. And then you would just show up at a gig and then do it, because that's the professionals you are.
Well, yeah. Or the professional, it doesn't always work. But
no,
it doesn't always work, but it is fun. It's there's no way I'm going to get everybody together to a rehearsal. It just doesn't happen anymore.
No, I don't see how. I mean, because I've been fortunate to catch a few of your live shows back in the day. You know, like I said, we met in 2006. I think up until about 2000, at least 14, I was seeing, like, off and on. I would see either if I went down there or if you were up here. And I probably have seen you live at least half a dozen times.
Yeah.
And every time you're phenomenal. I mean, you are so, not only, you know, I know this is, and it's not even bias, it's just facts. It's like, not only vocally are you incredible and as a musician, but you have a direct connect. You engage and you have this connection with the audience, with the people that are there. And they're always up and dancing. Whether it's little ones, older ones, in between ones, and they usually know your music. That's the crazy part. They'll know your songs, right? Especially when it's down south. I've noticed, like, because I haven't been with you when you've gone to the East Coast or whatnot. Where's the farthest you've traveled to perform?
Well, I played prides all over the U.S. Like, hold on, somebody's at my freaking door.
Okay.
I can't imagine why. And there's a what is going on? And there's like a strange, hold on.
Do your thing. I'll be your protection.
Okay. Wow, that was so weird. A song played in my house that I've never heard before. It was a delivery. But so anyway, what did you ask me?
And they played a song as they delivered. That's really interesting.
It was UPS.
And they played a song. Who doesn't love? It's like Christmas every day. You mentioned the furthest you've traveled to play.
Okay, so I've played prides all over the U.S. And so I played Boston, Atlanta, Rhode Island.
Rhode Island has a pride?
Yeah.
They're so tiny. Good for them.
I think that was Provincetown Pride. And let's see. I played in Texas. I've played in kind of all over Tennessee. A lot in Texas. I mean, I've kind of been all over. When I was sort of touring around doing a bunch of prides and doing all that kind of stuff, I was all over the United States. Just me, or I was touring with a harmonica player.
Oh, okay.
And but now pretty much the farthest I go is I head out to Chicago, Indiana, Milwaukee area. Like, that's more, Midwest is more of my go-to now. I have a good following in that area.
You've actually, I think it's great for anyone who's been only doing like the music thing for a couple of years, pre-COVID. It's so important, I've noticed, for artists to get out of their hometown, get out of their comfort zone. Because once you establish yourself, you can go back. Because I know that you, what is it? You said you're up to like 240 shows a year.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's too many, honestly. I would say
that's like 4 a week.
Yeah.
or maybe
Yeah.
even 5 a week.
It was getting to be sometimes I would have 5 a week.
Jeez Louise.
And I generally don't do it right next door. So it's usually a good hour to 2.5 hour drive.
Well, of course not, because you're just saturating the same town if you're right next door. And so,
Well-
okay, now would you do these as solos or duets, or would your whole band come with you?
Sometimes the band, but mostly it's a duo.
Okay, you and Paul?
Me and Paul, or me and a guy named Colin.
God, you and Paul are still doing it.
We
Whoa.
still are. We
See,
still
because I
are.
remember, because some of the gigs you would do, it was just the two of you. And this is the thing, despite the fact that it were two people, full sound. Because he's doing the electric guitar and the licks and the solos and the bluesy stuff. Because your music is predominantly like a rock bluesy with a hard hit of country.
Yeah.
Is sort of the mix that I recall. And in fact, that last song that when I created that promo video for you, it was your latest song. It's such a good song. And vocally, you sounded grounded.
Oh,
the one that I used. Did you? I think that came out a few years back.
That was on the CD before this one, and actually, it got play on a TV show called Mr. Mercedes.
Stop it!
Yeah,
look at you. Okay, let's jump into that TV, Mr. Mercedes, because you also have lended your vocals and writing skills to TV and even film.
Mm-hmm.
When was the first one you did that you can recall?
It's just in the last 2 years that this has been happening. I mean, I've had music in independent films for years, and I've even been in a couple as the band.
Right.
So I can't even recall. It's been interesting. Mostly those were all they were using my original material.
So good.
There was like a song, like people would actually find me on the internet and find my songs and say, "Hey, well, can I use your songs in my movie?" And these were independent filmmakers.
But that's still great.
Yeah, I loved it. It was great.
That looks great on the resume. Are you kidding?
Oh, absolutely.
Independent or not?
No, absolutely.
That's so dope.
But this year, I had one of my you might even know one of my the songs, but I had a song called "Watching the World Go By."
I love that song.
In Bombshell. With Nicole Kidman and Shirley.
Okay, you know what? I haven't seen it. I'm going to watch it just to wait for your song to come up.
So
I love that song.
It's very in the background. It's in the bar scene. 2 girls are talking to each other in the bar.
I'll remember. I'll hear it because I love that song.
Keep an ear out. Yeah.
Didn't that come out in like 2005 or something?
It probably, that might have been the CD that I had released right before When You Saw Me.
Okay,
maybe that was the
that's
CD.
such a catchy song. Watching the world go by. I almost used it because I love it so much, and I thought, no, let's do something a little newer. For the artist's sake, let's do something a little. Because I was gonna totally throw that in on the little promo video that I made of you, and I was like, no, that is one of your favorites, but let's get more familiar with her newer stuff because I'm a Bad Friends fan that I'm not as familiar with your newer stuff as I am your older stuff. I did see you did
fans like that.
Yeah, I saw that you have, because you have this thing with being naked.
Yeah.
What is with you? So I know, because like I was sharing to remind people for this podcast. And when you have your website up, it's the shot of you naked, bent over in a bunch of grass or field.
Yeah.
But then you've done something about Fridays. What was it? No pants or
clothing optional.
That was what it is. Clothing optional Friday. And then there was one that had to do with Thursdays.
Naked Thursdays.
And then you even have the video where you're that sock thing.
Windsock. Naked.
You're the windsock naked. And they have the bars across your no-no parts. I'm like, what is this girl and her nakedness? Like, I almost used one of those photos in your promo simply because people who know you long enough know that you like to be naked in your photos and in your videos whenever possible. What is that?
Well, the funny thing is the reason I do that is because I'm really shy and I'm trying to push the envelope for myself. I'm really shy, so I wanted to make myself not be so shy.
By exposing yourself to the whole world. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I'll ever reach that level of confidence, but good for you. So good for you. Like the most I think I've ever, when I talk about any of my privates, was when back when I was traveling before COVID, and getting on the plane. And for some reason, no matter what airport I was in, the little beeper always said that there was something going on downstairs. And I don't have piercings. I'm not hiding a knife up my hoo-hoo. And so, I used to joke that it was, they call it the BAP, which is bomb ass pussy. Cause I don't know if you've seen the meme where it shows the girl and she's getting checked and the security says, do you have any explosives on you? And she says, just this bomb ass pussy. So I would joke and say that, but I wasn't showing it.
I like that though. That's
right.
If you actually said that. Oh my
4
God.
in a row. It's no doubt. I would go live after I passed through and go, guys, guess what happened? And people would go, bab, bab, bab in the comments. I'm like, I got stopped. Then they had to do the wand, and then they had to pat me down.
You probably had on some fancy pants with some. No,
I usually don't wear any.
No pants,
or underwear. Is that what you meant?
No, I meant like
TMI something. Oh yeah. No, the pants they were usually just jeans, and typically there's nothing down there like the zipper, but the zipper's up. Yeah. Zipper usually doesn't indicate on that. That's the one where you stand in the middle and your hands are up and it goes around you like the 360.
Yeah.
It usually doesn't depict that zippers and buttons on a pant is the entire crotch.
I know. I get a lot of pat downs too. I don't know why.
Wow.
Maybe we just look like we should be frisked.
Touched. I guess. Like we just have to touch you. No, we're going to touch you. That's just how you look. Oh, okay. Weird.
Yeah, go for it.
So weird. So then, okay, let's switch a little more gears. Let's go to, because you said just a couple of years back, you're doing bigger things. Did you mention you've written and performed songs for the soap opera Young and the Restless?
Yeah, I have a bunch of songs on The Young and the Restless.
Oh my gosh. Now, are these specifically written for it, or they took some of your older material?
No, it's not written specifically for it. Some of my songs, and then just some songs that they liked, and a bunch of Christmas songs. I recorded a bunch of Christmas songs for their Christmas season.
And they wanted you. How did that happen?
Well, they liked what I did. They just liked the songs. So.
Look at you. See, I don't even watch soap operas. I would go back and go on YouTube and just like YouTube a bunch of Young and the Restless episodes and just peel an ear. And now you've also got a movie you're about to have music in?
I have a song in the new Borat 2 movie. It's instrumental.
Okay.
It's instrumental, and it's during a animated part of the film.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's instrumental. And how did you come up across that? Having music in a major film like that?
If I told you, I'd have to kill you.
Kill me?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically you just knew someone who knew somebody and said, we want her. Yeah. See, that's amazing to me. Congratulations.
It's definitely how I've worked. This is definitely by knowing someone who knows somebody who knows somebody.
And for as long as you've been doing music, which is how long have you been doing music?
Since I was playing professionally in high school. So forever.
Forever and ever. Amen. So then what was it that, was music always the only choice for you? Did you ever think you were going to go a different direction and then music fell in your lap, or
Nope.
It was always music?
Yep.
What was the youngest that you learned guitar?
Guitar I learned later. I learned it because I was in a band where we needed another guitar player. I was just singing and we really needed another guitar player. And so I had to learn how to play, because sometimes the lead guitar player would decide to tune in the middle of a song, and then it would be me and the bass player and the drums. So I needed to learn so it could be filled in. Oh my
gosh. So then that's where you kind of learned the whole, like the rhythm guitar playing.
Mm-hmm. On the job.
Wow. Why would we tune in the middle of it? Okay.
Well, if you go out of tune, but it was just a thing. And so, but I'm happy that I did it. And now.
Yeah. Because you learned a skill set.
Yeah. Mostly I write on guitar. I also write on piano. And
you do play piano. That's correct. You've done a few lives. I remember seeing your little.
I'm not good at it. I wouldn't play it live, but I mean live like out
On
in
a show.
person on a
Yeah.
show. I mean, I do it here in my house in the middle of the night.
There you go. Why not? You know what? I have my grandmother's guitar that actually needs to be restrung. I don't play. I've had people try to teach me a couple of things. I can't read music to save my life. I have now a brand new ukulele that I'm like, all right, got the little tuner because modern technology and YouTube. I'm sure I could probably learn some songs. It's smaller like me. Haven't done it yet, but I should.
You should.
I like toying around with stuff. You want to hear? No, you don't.
Yeah, I
do. Promise. No, you don't. Because now that's going to be the challenge. I'm like, can I play a song and show it to Sean?
Yeah.
So then guitar now, because I remember back when I was following you around, you were doing music, I learned that you like to restring your guitar every show. Do you still do that?
I changed it up a little bit. I was doing it pretty much once a week.
Okay.
Which is like could be 4 shows. So
okay.
The way I play guitar and the way my body reacts with the guitar strings, like the oil in my fingers, tends to destroy them. So
that's what that is.
If I don't change them, they actually break while I'm playing. So
what?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Mm-hmm. That's
so
dangerous.
I have to change them. Well, it's not dangerous, but it's really, really annoying.
Well, okay, annoying. Maybe not dangerous, but definitely annoying. Wow, because I don't think I've ever been with you when one broke. So
the weekend before last or something, I think I broke each night. I broke a string. Crazy.
That's irritating. Yeah, because you play pretty into it, so that could be very irritating. And then, do you have a go-to style of guitar you prefer to play on your? Because it's acoustic, you predominantly play, right?
I play acoustic, and I have an endorsement with Breedlove guitars. And
yes, I love them.
I use those.
Breedlove with because as you know, I work with the Women's International Music Network, and we work with them. They've been sponsors for us for our She Rocks Awards, and we've done like contests with them and stuff. They're really good.
Yeah, I really like them a lot.
I love that name too.
I do too. Yeah. But that's the only guitar I use because they endorse me and they give me a break. So yay!
Heck yeah! Shout out for me with MXL microphones and this sweet video podcast setup I've got going. Heck yeah! Nothing like sounding professional in your dining room.
Hey. That's where we all are working from home now. So, hey.
Yeah. Speaking of which, let's touch on that because we just said not too long ago you were bumping it up to 240 shows a year. And then all of a sudden COVID said, no, you're not.
Screeching halt. Yeah.
Screeching halt. You had to cancel all your gigs, right?
All of them. All but one.
Okay.
One actually happened. So in 6 months, I had one official gig, like actual that I had booked. But I had already booked all of those 6 months. We're solidly booked.
Yeah.
I booked 6 to 12 months
8 months
ahead.
And months, yeah.
So yeah.
How was that emotionally for you?
Devastating.
Like psychologically for you, because you go from just knowing you're like booking, doing travel, get everything set up to what do we do now?
It was so utterly weird. I think in some ways it was good for me because I needed to stop playing so much, and it was sort of becoming not an obsession, but it's sort of like, that's my life. I'm just going to book, play. If you want me to play, I'll play. And I never said no. So
no, you didn't.
So I just kept playing more and more shows, and it was draining. I mean, it's just too many. And so this made me stop. And then my very first Facebook Live show was like March 20th or something, March 25th.
Right at the beginning of it, yeah.
Right at the beginning.
2 weeks into it, about a week or so into it.
And it wasn't the thing yet. Like, not everybody had inundated the airwaves with live shows yet. And Paul was supposed to show up, and he didn't. So I don't usually play solo, but I played, I think, 2.5 hours straight, just me, no break.
Wow.
And I made my friends and fans were very generous and helped me, through these months make it work.
That is
I mean,
so
I
good.
am so utterly thankful to my people and everybody who has supported me, because if
They
I
believe
didn't
in
have,
you.
they believe in me, and if I didn't have that, I would have been really depressed.
I
And it
bet.
kept me going. I kept doing more shows. Created a couple videos during COVID backyard videos, and recorded probably about 20 songs, new songs.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Look
yeah.
at you.
And I have a song that came out in a movie on Netflix called Desperados for my latest
What?
CD.
Desperados. Okay, we gotta make a list. I need to check all of these movies and shows. Desperados. Why does that sound familiar?
It's a really cute romantic comedy.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up
And
then because you
and at
said
the end,
Bombshell, Desperados, Young and the Restless. Dang.
um, and I have one coming out in December. I have a couple songs in a movie called Half Brothers that's coming out in December.
Oh shoot. Okay. Okay.
So
Good for you. So then, has it been? I mean, have you been stuck inside? Have you been able to find a way to kind of get out and get some fresh air? Because I mean, you're down south, and for a while there, air quality wasn't so great for you
oh
either.
geez. Oh God. I mean, I get out and walk and hike, and I
Good.
do what I can.
Yeah.
It's just such a weird world we live in. We all got to band together and do the right thing so that we can get out of this. Anyway.
It's a tough one. It's really tough. I mean, like I was saying earlier, it's just up here in Sacramento, being in the middle of the bowl of all of the fires, because it started with this one near Vacaville, and then it moved to the one Chico, and then the one over by Fresno, which is still going, and then just 2 weeks ago, the Santa Rosa / Napa. So for 2 months, I think I've been able to go outside and be able to breathe maybe 9 days.
Wow.
It's been that bad.
Wow.
Yeah. And then for me, I mean, literally did nothing all summer. And like I said, I have to wear makeup to look normal because I'm so pale. I look like a drug addict. Like I remember this because the first video when I was learning to do the podcasting, not learning, but learning the tweaking of video podcasting, I was telling you, this is like my 16th episode in a month. And the very first one that I ended up making it my official, I thought it was going to be my third trial. I remember looking at myself, looking back at it going, what was I thinking? But you don't know because you're not, you're learning. It's trial and error. I'm just figuring out StreamYard. I'm figuring out Anchor. I'm figuring out DIYing the equipment versus the apps. Like all these apps I play with on my phone when I'm creating these promo videos. I'm using like 3 separate apps, putting it together, and then there it is. And so I looked at myself and was like, I can't look like that again. I can't do that. So I'm like, oh, thank goodness for makeup. So I have reasons now. I mean, because it just sits. I wasn't going anywhere, but it's that whole red carpet. You got to have that red carpet appeal so that you look normal.
You always look amazing. You've
Well,
always
you.
looked amazing. Yeah.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thanks.
Yes.
Thanks. All right, then. So what have you done? Did you pick up any new hobby or a new thing to keep you busy that was not music related during this whole shutdown that you'd like to share?
Yoga.
Really?
Yeah, I'd never done yoga before. I started doing yoga.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And
then I stopped.
Okay. So not that you just didn't resonate with you?
No, not really. No, but I gave
Wait, you like to be naked doing a windsock, but yoga wasn't your thing?
No, I did it for 30 days. I had a 30-day challenge, and I just,
And then you were it just didn't sync with you.
I was done.
Do you still have a farm of animals? Why do I recall you having, is it you?
I had a rabbit, a bird, and a couple dogs. Now,
like years ago, I thought you had like 4 or 5 rabbits that lived outside.
Only one. One
Oh,
rabbit.
okay.
One rabbit and a bird. But now I have 5 cats and a bird.
That poor bird.
Well, he's really badass, so he's okay.
Is he? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the cats don't mess with him?
Well, we make sure they don't mess with him.
That's very smart.
Yeah, we're kind. Yeah.
Rabbits are cool, though. I remember having a couple of rabbits in my lifetime. One in particular, I sort of borrowed from my sister because he needed somewhere to live. My sister she had moved to a place where she couldn't keep him, and he only had 3 legs, but they called him Speedy. That rabbit, big gray rabbit, would chase cats down the street. Like, this rabbit was no joke, but a total loving rabbit, knew how to use a litter box.
Except if you were a cat.
If you were a cat, not at all. As a human, totally awesome. So he was litter box trained with that special kind of stuff that you do for rabbits, not for cats. And so I ended up taking his cage because he had a big cage that was like where he could sleep. But I ended up DIYing, cutting out a really safe little opening where he can just come and go as he please. He would come and lay on our laps and play with us, and me and my roommate. And he was like the coolest rabbit ever. He didn't munch on anything, which I guess we were lucky because I guess
you were lucky because they like to eat cords,
carpet, your wood base paneling.
Oh yeah.
He didn't do any of that. He was a very good rabbit.
You were lucky.
And so I guess, but and I just remember him being super cool and really neat compared to cats. Like, their poop and stuff is not as smelly as cats.
No, their poop isn't, but their pee is really
bad.
smelly.
Their pee is bad.
It's like acid.
Yeah, I guess. But you know what though? I think it's because I didn't use cat litter. I used that
bunny litter.
It's like a material kind of, I can't describe. I mean, it's safe for them, but it's almost like you took a bunch of dense paper and it was all like, so I think that absorbed it enough compared to like litter with a cat. Maybe it didn't seem as bad.
My bunny was litter box trained, but sometimes when she or he, I don't really know.
Okay.
I think it was he would stick his butt, like he'd get into the litter box, but then his butt would hang over the side. So he'd pee, and he thought he was peeing in the litter box, but oops. So he was in a hutch outside.
Yeah, he might have been the one I remember you talking about. You never had like turtles and stuff? Why did I think you had like this barrage of animals? I don't know why.
No.
We've just been friends for so long, but we've been out of touch lately just because of life and then COVID.
Yeah, life gets in the way. Life really does.
Really does.
But I'm happy to see her doing this. This is so cool. And
I
love your intro. Your intro was great.
Thank you.
Look at all those things you've done. Yeah.
I was like, I have to create, and it is kind of fuzzy, which is unfortunate because I was snagging those videos from other people's videos, and I need to probably do that on not my phone video app, but maybe on my laptop video thing to make it a little cleaner. But yeah, I just figured it was a really good way for people to see I know what I'm doing, and I've interviewed a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I like that. That was great.
Thank you. I know, because I love that you recognize Jennifer Batten. I'm like, yep, Jennifer's the bomb.com.
Oh yeah.
In fact, like one of the first, guitar wise. I mean, because Jeff Beck and Michael Jackson are like the two most that people know who she's played with. But then even today, because even though that was years ago, even today she's just phenomenal. Because we awarded her with a She Rocks Awards. That's how I met her. And that was 2016. And then she's on stage performing with Nita Strauss, and they were with the house band. And you just watch her, and you're mesmerized with her.
Oh, I know.
With the way she plays and her energy when she's playing. Yeah. Even now, I guess it's when it's something you love, it just never goes away. Like your ability to do how you do it. And she's definitely one of the greats.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate to have met her, interview her, and then see her perform. Because before that, I mean, to be honest, I didn't really know who she was. I've learned since. I've, come across so many incredible artists, especially females in the industry. I mean, it's even to this day, we're still struggling to be anywhere near the amount when you're hearing even music that's streamed. I guess that's the difference though. When you're streaming, you can tweak it with the genres you like or the people. I know at least with Spotify and with Pandora, if you put a certain station or certain people, it'll bring you those. And then all of a sudden you're learning about a whole bunch of female artists you might not have known. But man, with radio, I will still listen to radio. It doesn't matter. I could be here in Sacramento and the stations aren't as diverse as like San Francisco or LA. But even when I'm listening there, I'll count how many times before I hear a female singing.
Wow.
And then I won't even know. And then I won't know if I have to dig deeper, if they wrote or produced that song, if they're in the band themselves. Usually if it's a band that I know, all male.
Oh,
Still.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy. I'm like, what are you doing? You know, it's like, so kudos to you for still, you know, grinding away. I mean, so now though, let's get this as we wrap this up.
Yeah.
Now that COVID really made you stop, made you sort of self-heal, right? Get some rest, do other things, change your whole pattern. When this is all said and done, because we know this isn't forever, and you can go back to doing it, do you think you'll go back to 200 plus shows a year?
Nope.
Okay.
No, I want to, I wasn't looking, I'm going to change it up. It needs to be not the same old, same old. I want to do more private events. I'm probably going to focus more on private and,
you mean like corporate and weddings and that kind of thing?
No, I mean like people's homes, like your driveway, your backyard, you know, my friends' weddings, like smaller weddings. I don't want to do corporate and that kind of stuff. That's just cheesy to me. I did that and didn't really enjoy it. I loved the band I was playing with, so we had fun, but the gigs are like, ugh. But but no, I want to, you know, I'm just going to be a lot more picky. You know, if I really like a place and want to play there, I'll play there. And if I'm just don't really like it and was just doing it because I was going to add more gigs onto my plate, I'm not going to do it. You know,
good for you. Do you feel like it's added quality to your life having to slow down?
It's added quality in a really different way. It's not because I'm just as busy. It's adding quality it's adding quality.
Just in general.
You know? In general, like I feel it's exciting writing a whole lot more, I'm working with a lot of different people, recording with a lot of different people, and recording different styles, different sounds. You know, it's just it's really rewarding and really creative. And I think I was just doing the same thing over and over and over every day. And now it's more diversified for me. So it's more exciting. So then I learned a whole bunch of new cover tunes over COVID. People would ask me for songs. So now I've got a whole bunch of new songs I can play. And I think that'll help me, you know, get into some different places. And I just needed a change. I needed a change. And the only way it was going to happen was getting hit over the head by a virus.
Well, no kidding, sucked. Right? Well, I mean, because you just released a single called The Promise this year.
Yeah.
And it's vastly different than anything I've ever heard you put out. Yeah. It feels very personal. It feels
It's today. It was about it was COVID related.
Well, more than just that. Yeah, for sure. But just even the tone and the direction and dare I even say genre it was different, and it was more what's the word I'm looking for? Not polished, because all your stuff is just phenomenal. But even with Grounded, you could just tell there was this different. I could feel there was almost this different direction you were starting to go with the kind of music you were putting out. And it seems like now that you've been able to stop because you didn't have a choice,
right?
You were able to, okay, as a creative, I can breathe. I have time. I'm not doing 4 or 5 shows a week.
Yeah.
I can try other parts that I didn't realize I had in me. It almost seems like.
Yeah, for sure. And on purpose. I'm like, I want to write a silly pop tune. I want to write a dark, brooding tune like The Promise. And I'm writing, I have a new partner that I'm working with who is able to do a whole bunch of different stuff. So that's really fun. And I'm trying I'm trying to step out of all comfort zones, you know, as a writer, what I'm trying to do with my writing, even being, you know, I have to kick myself in the butt regarding promo and getting my stuff out there and not being shy. I told you I'm shy. I am shy.
Aww.
And so
I never would have guessed that with you.
Yeah, I'm pretty shy.
It's I guess you just use your talent and your performance part to kind of do the talking for you.
Yeah, I mean, on stage I'm not shy, but
No, not at all.
I'm shy in terms of self promo. I don't like doing it, but I you have to, so I do it. Um, but it's been fun. I started doing shonograms where I record, somebody requests a song and I videotape myself singing it and like telling their friend happy birthday or telling their
Aww.
friend happy anniversary, and then I sing whatever song they request. And with
Nice
Zoom
and
shows
personal.
and Facebook shows, and yeah, it's really just been weirdly a growing time,
Yeah.
which is great. I mean, it's sucked, and everything that's happening, and the anger between people, and the angst and everything. It's like I can't wait till we find some peace. I want to find some peace, and I feel like personally, I was able to personally actually find a little bit of peace during COVID, which was weird.
You know what? I'm gonna jump on that with you because I did too.
No,
I think for me personally, I already was kind of pulling away and going into my own zone starting at the beginning of 2018 because I just had a lot of personal things happening, and it resulted in me pulling away and trying to figure out what I was doing with my life. So by the time COVID happened, I already was used to. I mean, I definitely different. I miss that I don't have the choice to actually go out and see somebody and hug and do whatever.
yeah,
But it did force me to really kind of sit down and think, what do I want to do with my career? Because with music and what I'm doing, it's like I can go into that, but will that still be there? Because so many things have been closing down, so many, different directions people are going. And it's hard to tell on the bigger level what artists are going to be able to do in the next year. Like I'm talking next
yeah.
summer.
I
For
know,
you
I
being able
know.
to do these private gigs, that'll be easier to do because it's a smaller audience. You still can
Right,
social distance.
right.
So, I mean, those are definitely doable. And I'm kudos to you for figuring out that you can do that and be and have it be lucrative and pay your bills and still do what you love. But on the
Yeah,
grander scale, right? With the tours. I mean, NAM is not going to be, everyone's not going to be there. And I'm bummed because that's my musical family reunion. South by Southwest is already pulling out a whole, doing a lot of this online streaming thing.
yeah.
And these are really big things that rely on in person, to make
Yeah,
the money.
like I wonder, like the Hollywood Bowl had no season. It's just unheard of.
That's so bad.
Unheard of.
Wow. Wow.
It's crazy.
They've got to figure out how to make the money because even though they talk about these drive-in shows, I mean, you're not making the money.
No.
You can't sell like a fraction of the tickets. And I know they're not going to charge you $200 for a car. So
Right.
how are they making this money? Are they streaming the rest of it? And then is there a charge for that? So it's crazy. It's almost like music almost has to go along the lines of like Netflix. And maybe someone's already on it and they've developed a channel.
God, isn't that? Oh my God, that would be so sad.
It would be sad, but it might have to happen.
Yeah.
Just to have that as a backup to also do, because yeah. So, it's made me think, well, what direction do I need to go? Because I'm older, but I still have a lot of years in me.
Yeah.
And I want to do something that I'm passionate about and then be able to pay my bills to do it. So I've been reflecting myself. So us creatives, we got to figure out how to make it work.
And we will.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with us creatives. That's the only, I only know how to do this. So
I know. I'm telling you, like, I know I could fall back on anything. I'm good at a lot of things, right? I still could Lyft drive. I've got that in my pocket. But the thing is like even working for Amazon or lifting, it's like people are still getting COVID from this.
Yeah.
It's not gone. And a lot of this is that personal contact with people you can't control if they decide they don't want to wear a mask and if they decide they want to get confrontational with you.
Oh.
Because people are everyone's antsy. This is month 7. So people are just angry, frustrated, bitter.
Yeah.
And it's just whatever, and it comes from the COVID. And so when you come in contact with them, you didn't piss them off, but you were the tipping point of whatever's been building up. And that's why I stopped driving in, I want to say June.
Yeah. Oh, I can't
just
imagine.
No.
Like at that time, driving Lyft or Uber, I can't even imagine that.
I was driving only in San Francisco, and then when all that shut down, then I came home, and then people were wearing masks. But then as it got worse, I was like, no, I can't risk this. I've been fortunate. I've had no one challenge me because they could go, no, I'm not going to wear one. I don't have to. And then because Lyft will tell you as a driver, you'll get the messages going, and if you need to cancel, we won't ding you. I'm like, I'm not worried about you dinging me. I'm worried about this person not getting out of my car. I'm worrying about this person physically assaulting me because I'm telling them I'm not going to take them anywhere.
Holy moly.
I worried about that.
But you didn't have that happen.
No. And no, okay, I was very fortunate. And then I just, like I said, because I've seen videos of people sharing that it has happened. Because I would belong to these chat groups, like on Facebook and stuff, where Sacramento drivers and San Francisco drivers, and we would share information about things, and people were throwing up because a lot of them, I also drove without the dash cam, but a lot of drivers have the dash cam. So it would record and it would save them as far as if a situation came up that they had to physically defend themselves. The video showed that they were assaulted first, and then it would save them from being sued. No joke.
Oh my God.
So I would see these videos and I'm like, I mean, I don't know if you saw that. Then of course we'll end this. We're going like forever long because I just love you and I miss you. But I shared that video on my page today. Happened in Palm Springs, I think a few days back. A woman, happens to be white. She's trying to go to this place called Bones and Scones.
Okay.
Have you heard of it? Scones and something. It's down in Palm Springs. So, and it's like they're going to close in like 10 minutes, but she refuses to wear a mask.
Well, fuck her.
And so you would think, right? What you see is the employee having to stand at the front door. He's filming it on his phone. She's calling 911. And she says she's being discriminated against. You hear her tell the operator she's being discriminated against. She's calling upon the Civil Rights Act of 1964. I'm being discriminated against because I have a right to breathe O2 and they're forcing me to breathe CO2 and my religious beliefs. And I'm not joking you. Here's an option. My friend was even saying on the post, like, couldn't she have just said, hey, I'm so sorry. I left my mask in the car. Could I give you my order? Can you bring it in a bag? Put it on the floor. Here's my card. She won't even do that. She's so entitled in her, I have a right to not wear a mask. It's like, well, yeah. And then you have a right to not shop at that store.
Yeah.
And she's using her privilege to call 911. So when you know that's happening because she wants a scone, you better believe I'm not having someone sitting behind me who wants to invoke the civil rights of 1964.
Oh my God.
Because I'm telling them that Lyft's policy, well, that's not the law. People will get mad. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I know. It's crazy.
I'm glad you're there in that chair talking to me.
Thank you so much. I'm glad I'm able to do this again. I feel like I think this is pushing me towards the direction of where I'm probably going to go with my career. Well, because I know I do this really well.
You do, and you're a people person.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love it. So good to see you. Thank you for having me. Good
to see you. Thank you. And I look forward to your new material because you said you wrote a bunch. Mm-hmm. And so everybody, if you see down there, Sean Wiggins, that's her website, SeanWiggins.com.
Visit me and check me out on Spotify. Got everything up there.
Stalk her, order a Shaunagram.
Order a Shaunagram.
She's the shiz. This is Myki for shizzle. This is Myki Angeline signing off with the Bad Filipino, and you have a great night.